Welcome back. Our next segment is on looking at houses. The one thing every buyer wants to do, they want to go and they want to look at houses. Okay, well, before we can actually go out and look at houses, I always tell my buyers, the first time out, we're going to look at 3 or 4 houses. And we're going to look at different types. We're going to look at ranches versus colonials, Tudors versus bungalows, 1-story, 2-story, finished basement, not finished basement. And by doing that, I learned from these buyers what the most important features are to you. When I first talked to a buyer on the phone, I said, what do you have to have in this house? I usually get the typical, I want stainless steel appliances, I want granite, I want open concept, I want hardwood floors, I want a 2-car garage, I want 4 bedrooms, I want 2 baths, bathrooms have to be updated, of course, etc. Well, how much do you have to spend? Oh, well, $120,000. Okay. Well, now, remember again, I'm talking about Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin to be precise. We don't have an inexpensive market here. So I know at that point it's really important. Now remember, we've been through the other segments. My buyer is now pre-approved. My buyer now understands buyer agency. So my buyer's all ready to go. Now we gotta find out what we're looking for. So once I get this whole shopping list of all these things this buyer wants at this price, which is where the buyer's pre-approved, now reality has to hit. And we need to go out and we need to look at these houses. And by the time we're done with those 4 or 5 we do the first time, buyers have gotten pretty well educated as what the market actually has to offer for the amount they have to spend. And this happens no matter if a buyer has $120 to spend, $220 to spend, or $620,000 to spend. It's always the same. No matter what you have, there's never enough for everything you want. Reality has to hit at some point. So after we look at these houses, we look at the prices, say, okay, well, now that we've got these features, now you've learned, you know what? That granite, we just can't get it in this house. Or, we're just not getting that finished basement. Or we're just not getting the 3.5-car garage. But you guys say, okay, so what's this house worth to you? Do you really want it? The way you find out, I tell every buyer this. Buyers say to me, well, I know the minute I see the house. And the answer is, if you don't know, I will. All I have to do is look at a buyer's face. And you can see that buyer's face light up. And you know what? You know that's the house. And when you look through these houses, the one thing you have to remember, you have to look at what you can change. Can you change the fact that there's no granite? Absolutely. Can you change the fact that the rec room is not finished? You bet. Put up drywall, you can finish it yourself. And remember, it's not $20,000. There's many different ways to do it. Not everything is $15,000 or $20,000 to fix. The only thing you cannot change in a house is location. You have to find your location. That you can't change. I mean, obviously, if a house is stone, it's kind of hard to change a stone. You can pull it off. You can pull it off. You can put on vinyl if you want. But the one thing you have to look at when you look at a house, what is it you can't change, not what you can change. If you love a house and the only thing you don't like is the fact that there is no granite in it, guess what? You can change that. And you can use that in your negotiations when you set your price because I need to do these things to this house to make it the house I want. So again, when you start looking at houses, when you go in, think about the things you can't change, not what you can. Cosmetics, if you can't hold up a paintbrush, I bet you can hire somebody who can. Thanks for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and let Kraus find your perfect house.